The Verlecki ship cut through space like a knife. Commander Zarthak stood on the bridge, his scaled skin reflecting the light of distant stars. His yellow eyes narrowed as he studied the star map before him. The Verlecki had hunted across 3/4 of the galaxy. Their trophy rooms were filled with the bones and preserved remains of 100 different species, but Zarthak was always hungry for new prey. "Commander, we have found an unexplored sector," said his first officer. Zarthak's mouth formed what passed for a smile among his kind. His sharp teeth gleamed. "Any signs of intelligent life?" Early scans show a system with several planets. One appears to have technology and radio signals. "Excellent. Plot a course. The hunt awaits." The Verlecki fleet changed direction, heading toward a small blue planet in a distant star system. Jack Summers floated inside the International Space Station, his eyes fixed on a computer screen. For 10 years he had been an astronaut. He had seen many strange things in space, but nothing like the readings he was getting now. "Houston, are you seeing this?" Jack asked, his voice calm despite his racing heart. "We see it, Jack. Can you get a better look?" Jack adjusted the station's telescope. "Something is moving near Jupiter. It's big, really big, and it's not one of ours." Mission control went quiet for a moment. "Stand by, Jack. We're contacting the International Space Coalition." 4 hours later, Jack watched as the USS Defiant, Earth's newest research vessel, left Earth's orbit. Through a video call, he spoke with Lieutenant Olivia Grant, the science officer leading the mission. "Be careful out there, Liv," Jack said. "Those readings are unlike anything we've seen before." Olivia brushed a strand of brown hair from her face. "That's why we're going. First sign of trouble, we'll turn around. Promise." Jack nodded, but he couldn't shake the feeling that something was wrong. Very wrong. The journey to Jupiter took the USS Defiant 3 days. Captain Frank Miller gathered his crew on the bridge as they approached. "We'll maintain a safe distance," he told them. "Lieutenant, Grant will run her scans and we'll be heading home. No heroes today, people." Olivia checked her equipment one last time. The strange readings were stronger now. Whatever was out there, it was big, and it was putting out energy readings beyond Earth's technology. "Captain, I'm picking up a structure," Olivia said. It's moving." The bridge went silent. On the main screen, a massive ship appeared from behind Jupiter's red spot. It was long and pointed like a spear. Smaller ships surrounded it. "Are those ships?" Captain Miller asked, his voice barely above a whisper. "They have to be," Olivia said. "And they're not from Earth." Captain Miller straightened his uniform. "Open a channel, all frequencies, let's introduce ourselves." The communications officer worked her controls. "Channel open, sir. This is Captain Frank Miller of the Earth vessel USS Defiant. We come in peace and wish to establish friendly contact." For a long moment, there was nothing but static. Then, a harsh clicking sound came through the speakers. The alien ships began to move toward them. "They're accelerating," the tactical officer said. "Weapon systems are active." "That can't be right," Olivia said. "Why would they?" A beam of red light shot from the lead alien ship. The USS Defiant shook violently. "Direct hit," the tactical officer shouted. "Hull breach on deck 3. Captain Miller gripped his chair. "Evasive maneuvers, get us out of here." The Defiant turned, its engines straining. More beams of light cut through space. The ship rocked again and again. "Engine room hit," someone shouted. "We're losing power." Olivia grabbed a console to keep from falling. Alarms blared around her. The bridge filled with smoke. "All hands abandon ship," Captain Miller ordered, his voice steady despite the chaos. "Get to the escape pods." Olivia ran through the corridors, helping injured crew members. The ship groaned and shuddered around them. They reached the escape pods as another explosion rocked the ship. "Get in," Olivia shouted, pushing people into the pods. She climbed into the last one as the ship began to break apart. The escape pod shot away from the dying ship. Through the small window, Olivia watched as the USS Defiant exploded in a ball of fire and debris. "Europa," she said to the pod's computer. "Set course for Europa." Jupiter's moon was their best chance for survival. The pod's engines fired, carrying the survivors away from the battle. Behind them, the alien ships began a methodical search, hunting for escape pods. On Earth, Mission Control lost contact with the USS Defiant. Emergency meetings were called. Telescopes around the world turned toward Jupiter. They saw the debris of the destroyed ship. They saw the alien vessels, and they realized Earth was no longer alone in the universe. In an underground facility, General Peter Howard addressed the world's military leaders. Ladies and gentlemen, we are facing a first contact scenario, and it's not a friendly one. The USS Defiant has been destroyed. We've received fragmentary transmissions from Lieutenant Grant. Their escape pod reached Europa, but they are in hiding. The aliens are hunting them. The room was silent. We need to prepare, the general continued. If these aliens destroyed one of our ships without provocation, we must assume they have hostile intentions toward Earth. As of this moment, we are on high alert. On Europa, Olivia and 6 survivors huddled in their damaged escape pod. They had landed in a crack in the icy surface, hiding from the alien ships that circled overhead. "What do they want?" asked one of the engineers, his voice shaking. Olivia looked at the data she had managed to collect. "I don't know. But they attacked without warning, without reason. They're searching for us now. Hunting us." She thought of Earth, unaware of the danger heading its way. The aliens would be there in months, maybe weeks, and Earth had no way to fight them. "We need to find a way to warn Earth," Olivia said. "We need to tell them what's coming." Above them, on the dark side of Europa, Commander Zarthak's ship scanned the moon's surface. The Vrelecki commander studied the readings of the primitive spacecraft they had destroyed. "These humans," he said, tasting the new word. "Are they worthy prey?" His first officer nodded. "The few we've seen fought well before dying. Their planet shows signs of numerous conflicts. They are warriors." Zarthak's eyes gleamed with anticipation. "Then prepare the fleet. The hunt begins." The Vrelecki ships turned, setting course for the blue planet. Earth had 6 months before the hunters arrived. 6 months to prepare for a war they didn't know was coming. 6 months passed quickly. Earth prepared as best it could. But how do you prepare for something you've never faced before? Colonel Sam Reeves stood on the roof of the Pentagon, looking up at the night sky. He was a tall man with gray at his temples, a soldier for 25 years. Tonight might be his last night on Earth. "They're coming," said Major Diane Wells as she joined him. She handed him a tablet showing the latest satellite images. A dozen large ships had appeared at the edge of the solar system. They were moving fast. "How long?" Sam asked. "Hours, not days," Diane replied. Her dark skin looked pale in the moonlight. "The president is about to address the nation." Sam nodded. For months, they had prepared. New weapons had been built. Armies had trained. But it wouldn't be enough. He knew it. Diane knew it. Everyone knew it. "The ISC found something," Diane said, breaking the silence. "They've been studying the wreckage from the USS Defiant. There's a weakness in the alien armor. It reacts strangely to certain radio frequencies." Sam looked at her. "Is it enough to hurt them?" "Maybe. Not enough to stop them. But it's something." Their phones beeped at the same time. A simple message. "They're here." The Vrelecki ships entered Earth's atmosphere at dawn. They appeared over major cities around the world. New York, London, Beijing, Moscow. Their ships were massive, blocking out the sun. Commander Zarthak watched the human cities through viewing screens. Such primitive buildings, such weak defenses. But there was beauty in their panic, in their fear. "Begin the hunt preparation," he ordered. "Target their military bases first. Make it sporting." Beams of red light shot down from the Vrelecki ships. Military bases exploded. Aircraft carriers sank. Tanks melted. The humans fired back with missiles and jets, but they might as well have been throwing rocks. In Washington, D.C., Sam Reeves ran through the halls of an underground bunker. Explosions shook the ceiling, sending dust raining down. "Status report," he shouted as he entered the command center. "Not good, sir," a young officer replied. We've lost contact with most of our forces. The aliens are picking off our military installations one by one. Sam looked at the large screen showing a map of the world. Red dots appeared and disappeared as bases were destroyed. What about the radio frequency weapon? He asked. Diane Wells looked up from her station. We've deployed it in 5 locations. It's doing something. The aliens slow down when they get near it, but they adjust quickly. Sam rubbed his tired eyes. Keep working on it. Find a frequency they can't adjust to. A soldier burst into the room. Sir, we've received a transmission. From Europa. Sam's heart raced. Put it through. The screen changed to show a woman with dirty face and torn uniform. It was Lieutenant Olivia Grant. This is Lieutenant Grant of the USS Defiant, she said, her voice breaking up. We've been monitoring the Vrelecki. They consider this a hunt, not a war. They have rules. The transmission cut out. Get her back, Sam ordered. We can't, sir, the communications officer said. But we received her data packet. It's huge. She's been studying them for months. Sam turned to Diane. Get that data to every scientist we have left. Find something we can use. Dr. Alan Morris worked in a secret lab deep in the Rocky Mountains. He was a small man with large glasses and brilliant mind. The government had brought him here 3 months ago to work on alien technology. Now he studied the data from Lieutenant Grant. The Vrelecki were hunters. They lived for the chase, the kill. And like all hunters, they had rituals, rules. They're not trying to exterminate us, he said to his team. At least not yet. They're hunting us, for sport. He pulled up images of the Vrelecki armor. Look here. Their suits are powered by something like our nuclear energy, but more advanced. And these markings, they're not decorative, they're status. Symbols, kills. One of his assistants pointed to a specific part of the armor. This is where the radio frequency affects them. It's some kind of neural interface. Alan smiled for the first time in months. Then that's where we hit them. 3 weeks after the invasion began, the hunting parties started. Small groups of Vrelecki warriors landed in cities and towns. They didn't kill everyone. They selected, hunted, the strongest, the fastest, the smartest. People fled to the countryside, to mountains, to anywhere they thought was safe. There was no safe place. Sam Reeves led what was left of the U.S. military, from a mobile command center. They moved constantly, never staying in one place for more than a few hours. We've lost Boston, Diane told him one night, and San Francisco. The hunters are moving inland. Sam looked at the map. Red covered most of the coastal cities. What about the resistance cells? Growing. People are fighting back with whatever they have. Chicago managed to take down a hunter yesterday, with a garbage truck. There was pride in her voice. Dr. Morris has something, Sam said. A weapon that might work against their neural systems. If we can get it built. The radio crackled. A voice came through, excited. Colonel Reeves, this is Outpost 7. We've captured one. A live one. The Chicago group brought it down and sedated it. Sam and Diane looked at each other. We're on our way, Sam said. On his ship high above Earth, Commander Zarthak was not pleased. The hunt was not going as planned. The humans were not running as expected. They were hiding, yes, but they were also fighting back, setting traps, working together. Commander, his first officer said, we've lost contact with hunt leader Krevnar's party. Zarthak's eyes narrowed. Lost how? Unknown. They were in a place called Chicago. Then nothing. Zarthak looked at the image of Earth on his screen. These humans were proving to be worthy prey indeed. They adapted quickly. They learned. Send in the military units, he ordered. The humans have earned an upgrade. This is no longer just a hunt. It is a war. Behind him, the first officer smiled. A war meant more glory, more kills, more trophies for the walls of the Great Hall. Neither of them considered even for a moment that they might lose. In a hidden lab under Chicago, Dr. Natalie Parker stared at the captured Vrelecki. It was unconscious, strapped to a table, its scaled, Skin was dark green, its limbs powerful. "What have we learned?" asked Sam Reeves as he entered the room. Natalie didn't look up. "They're reptilian, cold-blooded, extremely strong. And look at these." She pointed to marks on its skin. "Kill trophies." "Yes," Natalie said. "They're not invincible, just advanced, very advanced. But Dr. Morris's frequency weapon might work, especially now that we have one to test it on." Sam looked at the alien creature. For the first time since the invasion, he felt something like hope. "Then let's get to work," he said. "It's time to show these hunters what happens when the prey fights back." 8 months after the invasion began, Earth was a different place. Cities lay in ruins. Forests burned. Oceans were filled with the wreckage of ships. But humans still fought. They adapted. They survived. In the underground command center near what was once Denver, Sam Reeves studied the new maps. Red marks showed Verlecki strongholds. Blue showed human resistance cells. There was more blue than there had been a month ago. "The Chicago weapon works," Diane Wells said as she entered the room. She looked tired, but her eyes were bright. "We've taken down 5 hunting parties this week alone." Sam nodded. The weapon Dr. Morris had created used radio waves to disrupt the Verlecki neural systems. It didn't kill them, but it stunned them long enough for human fighters to move in. "What about the new intel?" Sam asked. "Olivia Grant is here. She made it back to Earth with her team. They landed in the Pacific and a submarine picked them up." Sam's eyes widened. "She's alive. Get her in here." 10 minutes later, Olivia Grant walked into the command center. She was thin and had a scar across her cheek, but she stood tall. She carried a small device in her hand. "Colonel Reeves," she said with a salute. "Reporting for duty." Sam returned the salute. "Lieutenant, we thought you were dead." "Nearly was, many times." Olivia placed the device on the table. It projected a 3D image of a massive structure. "This is the Verlecki mothership. We got close enough to scan it while hiding in the rings of Saturn." Diane leaned forward. "What are we looking at?" "Their command center, and more importantly, their culture." Olivia changed the image to show different parts of the ship. "The Verlecki are hunters to their core. Everything about their society is based on the hunt. Status, power, even their religion." She pointed to a large room filled with what looked like display cases. "This is their trophy room. Every Verlecki warrior keeps trophies from worthy prey. The more dangerous the prey, the more honor to the hunter." Sam frowned. "So we're just trophies to them?" "We were supposed to be," Olivia said. "But something's changed. We've been listening to their communications. They're confused, frustrated. Humans aren't behaving like normal prey." "What do you mean?" Diane asked. "Normal prey runs, hides. Eventually gets caught and killed. Humans fight back, set traps, kill the hunters. No species has ever done this before. Some of the Verlecki are starting to see humans as worthy." Sam stood up straighter. "How does that help us?" Olivia smiled. "It means they're starting to follow their hunting rules with us. And those rules can be used against them." Dr. Natalie Parker had never been so tired or so excited. For weeks she had studied the captured Verlecki with Dr. Morris. They had learned so much. "Look at this," she said, pointing to a scan of the Verlecki's brain. "Their neural pathways are different from ours, but they respond to similar stimuli. Fear, pain, pride." Dr. Morris nodded. "And their technology is amazing. Their weapons aren't just advanced. They're designed to give the prey a chance, to make the hunt more sporting. Which means they're not using their full capabilities against us," Natalie said. "Not yet. But they might if we push them too far." Natalie looked at their prisoner. It was awake now, watching them with yellow eyes. It hadn't spoken, but she knew it understood them. What do they want? She asked. Really want? Dr. Morris thought for a moment. Glory. Honor. The recognition of a worthy kill. Then that's how we beat them, Natalie said softly. We become too worthy to kill. On his ship, Commander Zarthak reviewed the latest hunting reports. They were not good. Hunting parties were being ambushed. Warriors were being killed. Captured. This had never happened before. The humans use our neural disruption technology against us, his first officer said. They've adapted it from studying our fallen warriors, Zarthak growled. They learn quickly, too quickly. Some of the younger warriors are calling for a full military assault. No more hunting, just extermination. Zarthak slammed his fist on the table. No, that is not our way. We are hunters, not butchers. But they kill our hunters. Yes, they do. Zarthak's voice held something new. Respect. They fight with honor. They adapt. They are worthy prey. He stood and walked to the viewing window. Earth hung in the blackness of space, blue and green, and beautiful. I will hunt the human leader myself, Zarthak decided. Bring me the location of their command center. Sam Reeves led a small team through the ruins of Denver. They moved carefully, watching for Vreleki hunters. The sky was dark, with smoke from burning buildings. Signals coming from that building, Diane whispered, pointing to a half-collapsed skyscraper. Sam nodded. They had received a distress call from a group of survivors. But something felt wrong. The signal was too clear, too easy to find. It's a trap, Sam said. They're learning our tactics. Just then a red beam hit the ground near them. They dove for cover as more beams sliced through the air. Move, Sam shouted. Split up. The team scattered in different directions. Sam and Diane ran into the skyscraper, climbing stairs as fast as they could. Vreleki hunters followed, their heavy steps shaking the building. Up here, Sam said, leading Diane to an office with broken windows. He pulled out a small device, Dr. Morris's neural disruptor. The door burst open. A Vreleki warrior stood there, taller than a human, its armor gleaming. It raised its weapon. Sam activated the disruptor. The Vreleki froze, then fell to its knees, screeching in pain. Its weapon clattered to the floor. Diane moved quickly, picking up the alien weapon. She pointed it at the Vreleki's head. Wait, Sam said. He approached the alien. Can you understand me? The Vreleki's yellow eyes focused on Sam. It nodded once. Tell, your commander we're not prey, Sam said. We're warriors, like you. This isn't a hunt anymore, it's a war, and we will win. The Vreleki stared at Sam for a long moment. Then it reached up and removed a small device from its armor. It placed the device on the floor and pushed it toward Sam. What is it? Diane asked, still aiming the weapon. Sam picked up the device. It projected an image of Commander Zarthak. Human. Zarthak's voice was deep with a clicking undertone. You fight well, better than any prey we have hunted before. I offer you the honor of personal combat, leader against leader. If you win, we will leave your world. Sam looked at Diane. She shook her head slightly. And if you win? Sam asked. Zarthak's mouth formed what might have been a smile. Then Earth becomes our permanent hunting ground, and you become my greatest trophy. The image disappeared. The Vreleki warrior stood, seeming to recover from the neural disruptor. Tell, your commander I accept, Sam said. The Vreleki nodded and left the room, not looking back. You can't trust them, Diane said once the alien was gone. It's another trap. Probably, Sam agreed. But Olivia said they follow their hunting rules. If those rules say the hunt ends when the prey defeats the hunter leader, then we have a chance. He looked out the broken window at the ruined city. And right now, one chance is better than none. 2 years after the Vreleki first appeared in Earth's skies, humanity had changed. They were no longer just prey. They had become hunters themselves. Captain Ryan Harris led his team through the dark forest. They wore armor made from pieces of Vreliki technology, redesigned for human bodies. They carried weapons that glowed with alien energy. "Target is half a mile ahead," Ryan whispered into his radio. "Strike Team Alpha. Are you in position?" "In position," came the reply from Major Diane Wells. She had a team on the other side of the Vreleki landing site. Ryan checked his weapon. 2 years ago, he had been a police officer in a small town. Now he led Earth's best soldiers on the most important mission yet. "Remember," he said to his team, "we need that ship in one piece." The plan was simple but dangerous. Capture a Vreleki scout ship. Learn to fly it. Take the fight to the enemy. Ryan gave the signal. His team moved forward, silent as shadows. Through the trees they could see the Vreleki ship. It was smaller than the main battle cruisers, built for speed and stealth. 4 Vreleki warriors stood guard around it. Ryan's team took position. They activated their neural disruptors. The devices had been improved over the last year. They were smaller now, more powerful. "On my mark," Ryan whispered. 3, 2, 1. Mark. The disruptors fired. The air rippled with invisible energy. The Vreleki guards dropped to their knees, screeching in pain. Ryan's team rushed forward, firing stun weapons. The guards fell, unconscious but alive. "Clear," Ryan called. "Get that ship open." 2 of his soldiers ran to the ship. They had studied Vreleki technology. They knew how to bypass the security systems. The ship's door slid open. Major Wells were in, moving to Phase 2. Inside the ship, Ryan's team worked quickly. They secured the controls, downloaded the navigation data, planted the human interface devices that Dr. Morris had created. "We've got company," one of the soldiers shouted. "Vreleki patrol returning." Ryan looked at the screens. A larger Vreleki ship was descending toward them. "How long?" he asked. 2 minutes, maybe less. Ryan made a quick decision. "Major Wells, change of plans. We're taking this ship now. Meet us at Rendezvous Point Beta." He turned to his pilot, a former Air Force captain. "Can you fly this thing?" The pilot looked at the alien controls, now modified with human interfaces. "I can try." Ryan hit his radio. "All teams fall back. We're taking off." The small ship's engines hummed to life. It rose shakily from the ground as the last team members jumped aboard. The door closed just as the Vreleki patrol ship opened fire. "Hold on!" the pilot shouted. The scout ship shot forward, dodging energy beams. It was faster than any human aircraft, more agile. The pilot laughed as he spun the ship around, avoiding another attack. "I could get used to this," he shouted. Ryan watched the screens as they left Earth's atmosphere. The Vreleki patrol ship followed for a while, then turned back. They had done it. They had stolen a Vreleki ship. "Set course for the moon," Ryan ordered. "Let's see what this thing can really do." In the underground command center, now hidden beneath the ruins of Chicago, Olivia Grant studied the data from the captured ship. She had been named Director of Vreleki Intelligence, responsible for understanding the enemy. "This is it," she said, to Sam Reeves. The location of their main fleet. Sam looked at the star map. Most of the Vreleki ships were gathered near Mars. "Why there?" he asked. "They're building something," Olivia said. "A permanent hunting base. If they finish it, they'll be able to bring in more ships, more hunters." Sam's face hardened. "Then, we don't let them finish it." He turned to Dr. Morris, who was working at another console. "Is the defense system ready?" Dr. Morris nodded. "We've placed transmitters around the globe. When activated, they'll create a planet-wide neural disruption field. It won't last long, maybe 10 minutes, but it should disable every Vreleki on and around Earth." "And the strike team?" "Captain Harris reports the ship is fully operational. They've learned how to fly it, how to use the weapons." Sam looked at Then it's time, Sam said. Operation Thunderstrike begins now. Commander Zarthak stood on the bridge of his flagship. He watched as the construction of the hunting base continued near Mars. Soon, the greatest hunters from across the galaxy would come to this system. Earth would provide sport for generations. But something bothered him. The humans had grown too quiet in recent weeks. They still fought, still hunted his hunters. But their major attacks had stopped. They were planning something. "Commander," his first officer called. "We're detecting an energy surge from Earth." Zarthak turned. "What kind of surge?" Before the officer could answer, alarms blared throughout the ship. Vreliki warriors fell to their knees, clutching their heads. The neural interfaces in their armor were overloading, sending pain through their bodies. Zarthak fought against the pain. He had modified his own armor after the first human attacks, but even he felt the effects. "Shut down all neural systems," he ordered. "Switch to manual controls." But it was too late. Across his fleet, ships drifted out of formation as their crews struggled against the invisible attack. "Commander," the first officer shouted. "Human ships approaching." Zarthak looked at the screens. Hundreds of ships rose from Earth. They were human vessels modified with Vreliki technology, and leading them was a Vreliki scout ship, flying with impossible skill. "Impossible," Zarthak whispered. The human fleet opened fire. They targeted the Vreliki ships with their own weapons, striking with precision. Explosions bloomed in space. As Vreliki vessels, their defenses down, were hit. Zarthak watched in disbelief. No prey had ever turned the hunt like this. No prey had ever become the hunter. "Commander," his first officer said, recovering from the neural attack. "The Council of Elders is calling. They demand to know what is happening." Zarthak looked at the communication screen. The eldest of his species glared at him. "The humans," Zarthak began, "they are not just prey. They are vermin," the elder interrupted. "And you have failed to exterminate them. We are sending the extermination fleet. Earth will be cleansed of all life." Zarthak's eyes widened. "No, that is not our way. The hunt has rules. Honor. The humans have proven themselves. The humans have proven that our ways must change," the elder said coldly. "The hunt is over, Commander. Now comes extinction." The communication ended. Zarthak stood in silence, as around him, his fleet burned. The humans had won this battle. But the war was about to become something much worse. On the captured scout ship, Ryan Harris watched the Vreliki fleet falling into chaos. Earth ships swarmed around them, firing captured weapons. For the first time in 2 years, humans had the upper hand. "Captain," his communications officer called. "Colonel Reeves is ordering all ships to fall back to Earth." "Fall back? Why? We're winning." "New Vreliki ships detected at the edge of the solar system. Hundreds of them." Ryan looked at his screens. The officer was right. A new fleet was coming. Larger, deadlier. "All ships," he ordered. "Return to Earth. The real fight is just beginning." The extermination fleet arrived 1 month later. Its ships were larger, darker, built not for hunting but for destroying. They took position around Earth, weapons ready. In the Chicago Command Center, Sam Reeves gathered Earth's leaders. The room was silent as they looked at images of the new threat. "We hit them hard," Sam said, "but now they want to wipe us out completely. No more hunting, just killing." "Can we stop them?" someone asked. Sam looked at Diane Wells. She shook her head slightly. "Not with the weapons we have now," Sam admitted. "But we have something else, a plan." All eyes turned to Olivia Grant as she stood up. "The Vreliki have rules," she said. "Deep cultural rules they've followed for thousands of years. The elders are breaking those rules by ordering extermination. Not all Vreliki agree with this." "Yupta." "Mean Commander Zarthak?" Diane asked. Olivia nodded. "He's reached out to us, secretly. He believes the hunt should have honor. That humans have earned the right to be treated as equals, not prey." Sam took over. "We also know the Vreliki aren't alone in the galaxy. They've hunted and enslaved dozens of species. Some of those species might help us if we can reach them. Doctor, Morris stood next. And we've developed a new weapon. Not to kill the Verleki, but to take away their advantage. A biological agent that affects their combat reflexes without harming them permanently. So what's the plan? Asked Ryan Harris, who had joined the meeting after returning from space. Sam smiled grimly. We're taking the fight to them. To their homeworld. Admiral Diane Wells looked out from the bridge of Earth's new flagship, the Defiance. It had once been a Verleki cruiser. Now it flew Earth's flag. Around it 50 other captured and converted ships prepared to enter the jump point that would take them to the Verleki home system. All ships report ready, her first officer said. Diane nodded. Begin the jump sequence. This was humanity's most desperate gamble. While most of Earth's forces stayed behind to defend the planet, this small fleet would strike at the heart of the Verleki Empire. The ships entered the jump point, the fabric of space twisting around them. When they emerged, they saw a red-orange planet surrounded by defense platforms and ships. We've been detected, the tactical officer reported. Verleki ships moving to intercept. Launch Ryan's team, Diane ordered. All ships, defensive formation. From the Defiance, a small Verleki scout ship shot toward the planet's surface. Captain Ryan Harris and his Special Forces team were aboard, along with their secret weapon. Good luck, Diane whispered, as the battle began around them. Ryan's ship dodged defense fire as it entered the Verleki atmosphere. Their ship was broadcasting special codes provided by Commander Zarthak, helping them avoid the worst of the defenses. There, Ryan said, pointing to a massive structure below. The Great Hall of Trophies. According to Zarthak, this was the most sacred place in Verleki culture, where the greatest hunters displayed their most valuable trophies, where the elders ruled. The ship landed in a quiet area behind the hall. Ryan led his team out, each carrying special weapons and the canisters containing Dr. Morris's biological agent. Remember, Ryan told them, we're not here to destroy, we're here to change the rules. They moved through the alien city, using stealth technology adapted from Verleki armor. Few Verleki remained in the city. Most had joined the extermination fleet at Earth. Inside the Great Hall, Ryan's team split up. Some planted the biological agent in the air systems. Others headed for the communication center. Ryan himself went to the trophy room where Zarthak had said they would find the Council of Elders. When Ryan entered the massive room, he stopped in shock. Thousands of preserved remains from hundreds of species lined the walls. Each trophy was labeled, honored in the Verleki way, and at the center of the room a new display was being prepared. The label read, Human. The elders sat in a circle around the display. 7 ancient Verleki, their scales dull with age, their eyes still sharp with hunger. They looked up as Ryan entered. Human, one said, surprised but not alarmed. You are far from your hunting ground. Ryan raised his weapon. Earth is not a hunting ground and we are not prey. The elders laughed, a harsh clicking sound. All species are prey to the Verleki. Not anymore, said a voice behind Ryan. Commander Zarthak entered the room, followed by several younger Verleki warriors. He stood tall, his armor scarred from battles. The hunt has rules, Zarthak said to the elders. You taught us this. The humans have earned the right to be treated as equals. They have turned hunters into prey. They have shown courage and honor. They are vermin, the eldest elder hissed. And you are a traitor. Zarthak shook his head. I am a hunter, a true hunter, and I recognize worthy opponents when I see them. He turned to Ryan. Now. Ryan activated the device in his hand. Throughout the Great Hall, vents released Dr. Morris's agent into the air. The elders tried to stand but found their limbs suddenly slow, clumsy. What have you done? One demanded. Change the game, Ryan said. Your combat reflexes are now the same as ours. No advantage. Equal ground. Zarthak addressed the elders again. The humans have allies now. The Krith, the Juraxians, the Mendari. All species your hunters have tormented for generations. They've formed a coalition against us. The main screen in the trophy room activated, showing the battle in space. The Earth fleet had been joined by ships of different designs. Together they were holding their own against the Vreliki defenders. "You have a choice," Ryan said to the elders. "End the hunt, join the galactic community as equals, or face extinction yourselves." 1 year later, Sam Reeves stood on a platform in Geneva, watching as the Galactic Concordat was signed. Representatives from 27 species, including the Vreliki, placed their marks on the document. Commander Zarthak, now Ambassador Zarthak, was the last to sign. He looked at Sam and nodded with respect. "The hunt is over," Zarthak said. "Now we build together." The document outlined the new laws. No hunting of sentient species, no slavery, no war without just cause. Earth had not just defended itself. It had changed the galaxy. Diane Wells, now General Wells, joined Sam on the platform. "Did you ever think we'd end up here?" she asked. "When they first attacked?" Sam shook his head. "I just wanted humanity to survive. I never thought we'd unite. The galaxy." Beyond the signing platform, a new monument was unveiled. It showed figures of all shapes and sizes standing together. At its base, a simple plaque read, "They hunted the galaxy without fear until Earth fought back. Now we hunt no more." Olivia Grant, standing nearby with Ryan Harris, read the plaque and smiled. "Not bad for a species that was supposed to be just prey." Ryan took her hand. "We were never just prey, and now the whole galaxy knows it." Above them, ships from a dozen worlds moved peacefully in orbit around Earth, the planet that had taught the greatest hunters in the galaxy the meaning of fear, and in the end, the meaning of peace.